This is the book of Yoel, chapter 3, verse 14. Crowds are great crowds in the valley of decision, for the day of Yahweh near in the valley of decision. I like to give all praises and glory to Almighty Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. I like to give all praises and glory to Almighty Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the men of GMS who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is Brother Boaz on the set once again. Nations are gathered in the valley of decision, okay? We know we have one more major prophecy until this all gets popped off, until things get kicked off, and that's the MOTB. Once the mark of the beast comes out, that's the end of all things, okay? The deliverance, okay? But right now, nations are gathering in the valley of decision, okay? That's what you're witnessing right now. So, like we discussed on multiple occasions, you have to get that doctrine of GMS so you can make it out with your life, okay? And don't play with your life with this thing and get caught up when this thing goes down, okay? That's what this is about. The book of Yoel, chapter 3, verse 15. The sun and moons are darkened, the stars withhold their brightness. Yahweh roars from Zion, from Jerusalem his voice bellows out. The heavens and earth shake, but Yahweh is a refuge for his people. He is a stronghold for the citizens of Israel. Okay, so for you to only be in a ballpark, you have to be an Israelite, okay? And a step above that, you have to be of the elect of the nation of Israel, okay? The Bible calls it the 144,000, okay? You have the 144,000, and you have just the elect, basically men and women and children that's destined, predestined to make it out of this thing when this thing goes down, okay? So, once again, like we discussed on multiple occasions, don't play with your life when this thing goes down, okay? And be caught up and be destroyed. The book of Yoel, chapter 3, verse 21. I will avenge their blood that I have not previously acquitted. It is Yahweh who dwells in Zion. Okay, so it's Yahweh is our power. First and foremost, he's the Israelites' power. Okay, he's our power. Okay, and he's a refuge in a time of destruction. Okay, so if you want to make it out of here with your life, like we discussed, you have to have the men of GMS's doctrine so you can make it out of here with your life when this thing goes down. You have to have yourself a clean garment. Let's get it. Okay, the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 18. Take my advice and buy gold from me refined by fire so that you can become rich. Buy from me white clothing so that you can clothe your shameful nakedness and will not be exposed when and buy eye salve to put on your eyes so you can see. Okay, so you have to have, like we discussed on multiple occasions, you have to have the men of GM doctrine, okay? So you can make it out of here with your life when this thing goes down, okay? You have to have the men of GMS's doctrine, okay? So if you want to make it out of here with your life when this thing goes down. Okay, that's what this is all about. Let's get it. The book of Luke 21, verse 34. But be on your guard so that your hearts are not weighted down with the disputations and drunkenness and worries of this life, and that day close down upon you suddenly like a trap. For it will overtake all who live on the face of the whole earth. But stay alert at all times, praying that you may stand, have strength to escape all these things that must happen, and to stand before the Son of Man. Okay, so pray that you can stand before Yahweh Shai, okay, so you can make it out of here with your life, okay. That's what this is all about. It starts with the men of GMS, is that doctrine. They have the doctrine of Yahweh Shai intact, okay. And Yahweh Shai was the only one that was able to open up the seals and unloosen his prophecies. Let's get it. The book of Revelation, chapter 5, verse 2. And I saw a powerful angel proclaiming in a loud voice, who is worthy to open up the scroll and to break its seals? But no one in heaven or earth or under the earth was able to open up the scrolls and look into it. So I began to weep bitterly because no one was found worthy to open up the scroll and to look into it. Then one of the elders said unto me, stop weeping. Look, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, has conquered. Thus he can open up the scrolls and its seven seals. So Yahweh Shai has conquered, and he's worthy to open up the seven seals, okay? But it starts with, once again, the GMS doctrine, that group, that sect of Israelites, they have it. They cracked the riddle, okay? They cracked the riddle, they did it. The book of Revelations. The book of Revelations, chapter 16, verse 16. Now the Spirit are gathered the kings and their armies in a place that is called Armageddon in Hebrew, okay? So that's what this is about, okay? That's what this is about. Verse 17. Finally, the seventh angel poured his bowls into the air, and a loud voice came out from the temple throne, saying, it is done. Then there was flashes of lightning, roaring, and crashes of thunder, and there was a great, tremendous earthquake. What would make that earthquake? Okay, thermonuclear destruction. Boom, boom, hitting this place. Okay, instant panic sets in. Okay, urinate on yourself. Why don't you? Okay, when you instant earthquake, it's thermonuclear destruction. And an earthquake unequal since humanity was began on the earth. So tremendous was the earthquake, the earth city split into three parts, and the city of the nations collapsed. So Babylon the Great was remembered before power and was given the cup with wine made of power's wrath, furious wrath. Every island fled away, so there was no more mountains that could be found. And gigantic hailstone weighing about 100 pounds each fell from heaven on people, and they blasphemed power because of the plague of the hell, since it was so horrendous. Okay, there was no nuclear destruction hitting this place. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Okay, instant panic sets in. Okay, instant panic sets in. The book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 12. Then the sixth angel poured out his bowl on the great river Euphrates and dried up the waters to prepare the way for the kings of the east. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 27. 15, verse 29. The nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and multitudes of them shall be carried upon the wind upon the earth, that there was which feared them may fear and tremble. Okay. Okay, the dragons of Arabia, that's what you're seeing with Iran. Okay, they're coming out. Okay, the Persians, it's one more step closer to the kingdom of heaven. Okay, and if you want to be on Mount Zion with your bubbly getting crowned, you have to keep 10 toes down and keep your faith and keep your integrity, even when it hurts. That's what this is all about. Keeping your integrity. Let's get it. The book of Psalms 15, verse 4. He despises a reprobate, but honors Yahweh's loyal followers. He makes commitments and does not renege on his promise. So you do not, basically, you do not go back on your promise. You got to keep your integrity with Yahweh Shai, okay? So you can make it out of here with your life when this thing goes down. The book of Psalms, chapter 26, verse 1. Vindicate me, O Yahweh, for I have integrity, and I trust in Yahweh without wavering. Okay, so you got to trust in Yahweh no matter what the situation is, or no matter what the situation calls for. You got to trust in Yahweh Shai. That's what this is all about. Okay, trust in His holy divine name. The book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 3. Trust in Yahweh and do right, settle in the land and maintain your integrity. Okay, so you have to maintain your integrity in this thing. Okay, That's what this is all about, okay? Keeping your promise, okay? Especially what's going to separate the men from the boys, if you will, is that mark of the beast. When that thing finally comes out, that's going to be, you're going to put yourself to the test when this thing goes down, okay? Because they're going to attach your whole life on that thing, on that mark, that wicked device, okay? And you're going to find out, okay, who's of Yahweh and who is not. The book of Second Ezra 16, verse 67. Behold, power himself is the judge. Fear him. Leave off your iniquities. Forget your iniquities and meddle no more with them forever. So shall power lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. For behold, a burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take certain of you and feed you unto being idle, which things are offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be in derision and reproach and trodden underfoot. Okay, so when you obey and get the mark of the beast, you're gonna be trodden underfoot. That's what this is all about. You're gonna be trodden underfoot. This all roads lead back to Rome. The book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 8. A second angel followed the first, declaring, Fallen, fallen is Babylon, the great city, she that made the nations drink from the wine of her immoral passion. A third angel followed the first to declaring in a loud voice, If anyone worship the beast in his image and take the mark of his forehead or his hand, that person will drink of the wine of power as anger and will be has been mixed out undiluted into the cup of his wrath, and he will be tormented with fire and sulfur in front of the holy angels and in front of the Lamb. The book of Revelations, chapter 20, verse 7. Now, when the 1,000 years are finished, will be released. Now, that's talking that 1,000 years already happened. That 1,000 years already happened to the Renaissance period. The so-called white man was in the hills of the Caucasoid Mountains, okay, as a caveman, okay, until 1,000 years until he was released. And Satan will be released from his prison and will go out to deceive the nations at the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, to bring them together for the battle. They are numerous as the grains of sand of the sea. They went up as a broad plain upon the earth, and circled the camp of the saints, and they beloved city, but fire came down from heaven and devoured them completely. Okay, so thermonuclear destruction is going to eradicate them. Okay, that's what this is about. That's what this is all about. The book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 64. Pay them back for what they have deserved, O Yahweh, according to what they have done. Give them a destroyed heart. May your curse be upon them. Pursue them in anger and eradicate them from under the heavens of Yahweh, from Yahweh's heavens. So that's a prayer that we should be praying. Okay, destroy the so-called white man already. Let them be destroyed. Okay, we want Jerusalem back. Okay, we want our kingdom back. Let the so-called white man go down with all the other nations. Okay, let them be our slaves. Okay, we want Jerusalem. Give Yahweh Yahushai no rest. Okay, we want Jerusalem back. Yahushai, when you gonna bring us here, Jerusalem? Okay, that should be our plea and cry day and night. Okay, give Yahushai no rest. Yahushai, what gives? Give us Jerusalem. Okay, we waiting for Yahweh to send Yahushai back. Okay, but when he comes back, he's like as a thief in the night. Okay, he's going to catch a lot of people on their guard, off guard. Okay, that's what this is all about. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 38, verse 1. Yahweh's message came to me, Son of man, turn towards Gog in the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, prophesied against him and say, this is what the sovereign Yahweh says. Look, I am against you, Gog, chief prince of Mekadesh and Tubal. I will turn around and put hooks in your jaw and bring you out of all your armies, horses and horsemen, and all your of all them fully armed, a great company with shield, different types of them armed with the sword. Okay, that's what this is all about. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 38, verse 10. This is what the sovereign Yahweh says. On that day, thoughts will come into your mind. You will devise an evil plan. That's talking about Russia, Putin, okay? They're going to devise an evil plan, okay? They want to drop missiles on America and take plunder, okay? And destroy them. Yahweh Shai is going to give Putin a thought to drop missiles on America and just destroy them and take their resources. Do unto them as they do unto you. You will say, I will invade a land with unwalled towns. I will advance those living quietly and seek securely, all of them living without walls and bars and gates, to loot, plunder, and to lack, and the inhabitants reigns and the people gathered from the nations who are acquire cattle and goods, who live at the center of the earth. Sheba and Dedan are the traders, and Tarshish, with all its young warriors, will say unto you, have you come to loot? Have you assembled yourselves, your armies to plunder, to carry away silver and gold, to take away cattle and goods? So that's what this is all about. They're gonna loot this place. Okay, this place is gonna be destroyed. Okay, missiles from Russia, Iran. This is gonna from China. They're gonna drop missiles on America. Okay, and it's gonna happen suddenly. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 39, verse 23. The nations will know that the house of Israel went into exile due to their iniquity, for they were unfaithful to me. So I hid my face from them and handed them over to their enemies, allowed them to die by the sword according to their uncleanness, and have deal with them and hid my face from them. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Yahweh says. Now I will restore the fortunes of Jacob, and I will have mercy on the entire house of Israel. I will be zealous for my holy name. They will bear the name of their unfaithful against me when they live in security in their land. No more makes them afraid. Then I have brought them back from these people, gathered them from the countries of their enemies. I will magnify myself among them in the signs of many nations. Then they will know that I am Yahweh their power, because I sent them into exile among the nations and gathered them into their own land. I will not leave any of them in exile any longer. I will no longer hide my face from them. When I pour out my spirit on the house of Israel, declares the sovereign Yahweh. Okay, so that's what this is about. Okay, Yahweh Shah is going to deliver his chosen elect. And so you can make it out of here with your life. Okay, so you have to call upon the names of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, so you make it out of here with your life when this thing goes down. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 38, verse 22. I will judge him with plagues and bloodshed. I will rain down upon him his troops and his many peoples who are in his torrent downpour, hailstones, fire, and brimstone, thermonuclear destruction is being dropped on this place. I will exalt I will exalt and magnify myself. I will reveal myself before many nations. Then they will know that I am Yahweh. Okay, so this thing is going down. Okay, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, okay? He's going to drop missiles on this man, okay? And when this thing goes down, okay, if you don't want to get caught in the aftermath or the crosshairs, okay, you have to come running to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai while you still can, while the doors of mercy are still open. Okay, let's get you my closeout scripture. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 15, verse 16. As your words came to me, I drank them in, and they filled my heart with joy and happiness, because I belong to you, O Yahweh, power of heavenly armies. I did not spend my time in the company of other people, laughing and having a good time. I say to myself, because I feel obligated to you, and I was filled with the anger at what they have done. Why must I continue to suffer such pain and anguish? Why must I endure the stings of their insults like an incurable wound? Will you let me down when I need you? Like a brook, one goes to water, but cannot be relied on. Because of this, O Yahweh, because of this, Yahweh says, you must repent of such words and thoughts. If you do, I will restore you to being the privilege of serving me. If you say what is worthwhile instead of what is worthless, I will again allow you to be my spokesman. They must become as you have been. You must not become like them. I will make you a strong wall to these people, a fortified wall of bronze. They will attack you, but they will not be able to overcome you. For I will be with you to rescue you and deliver you, says Yahweh. I will deliver you from the power of the wicked. I will free you from the clutches of violent people. Hopefully you was well edified. I like to give all praises and glory to Almighty Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, Shalom.